Kristen here from Prepared Fitness. Today we have our chest day workout. So before we explain any of the workout, you're going to want to grab a few things. So just any kind of weight you have available. You just have to have one weight. It doesn't have to be two weights at the same size. So if you have dumbbells, you can use those. That would be perfect. If you don't, you could use a thermos. Just make sure it's filled all the way to the top so the water's not moving around during the workout. You could use a gallon of water, maybe laundry detergent, anything along those lines. So just some kind of a weight. And we will be doing push-ups on the floor. So if you prefer to have a mat, you can go ahead and get your mat out. Or you could just do this on a carpeted floor or not use one at all, which is what I'll be doing. I don't need one for my push-ups. I don't prefer to use one. So it's whatever you prefer. All right, so it'll be a timed workout. We're going to do our warm-up, and then we're going to get into the workout, which will be about 4 different exercises. And it'll be all timed on my phone. Once we get started, you'll hear 3 beeps in the last 3 seconds of every exercise or every rest, so that you know the rest is coming to an end or the next exercise is about to start. So first of all, before I forget, before we start our warm-up, let me turn the volume up on this to make sure we're able to hear it. Then I'll set this to the side, and we'll get ready to start our warm-up. So again, remember you just need some kind of a weight and a mat if you prefer to use one. All right, so let's start our warm-up. So we're going to start standing up. This whole warm-up will be standing up. So you're going to bring your arms out straight at your sides, palms facing away from you. And just bring your palms together. Bring your hands together and then back. I'll turn to the side so you can see how far back I'm bringing my arms. It's not too particular. You don't have to bring it back the same way, to the same degree, just as long as you're staying in motion and pushing them back however far as you comfortably can. Another way you can do this is you can do this with bent arms. So have your arms bent. Keep that same angle of that bend in your arm as you go through the movement, and just go like this. You'll also feel this in your back as well. Turn to the side here. Make sure you stay in motion. We're just warming up right now. All right, let's do one more. And stop. All right, so then we're going to do some arm rotations just really quickly. We're not going to do a lot of them. So bring your arms out. You can start with small rotations and quickly work up to wider rotations. And then switch to the opposite direction. Keep going with those wide rotations. Let's do one more and stop. All right, so the very first part of the timed workout is actually going to be a little bit of a warm-up too. We're going to be doing a chest squeeze. So I'll explain it before we start. So it's going to be 15 seconds, and then we're going to rest 5 seconds, and then we're going to do 20 seconds of holding 3 separate times, and then another 15 seconds, and then move on to our other exercises. So what it is you can put your hands together in front of you like this, and then push on them. And you don't have to focus so much on pushing in physically on your hands, pushing them together. Focus more on tensing your muscles all throughout, mostly in here. And you're just going to hold that tension, and then we'll relax for 5 seconds, and repeat for 20 seconds, relax for 5, 20, relax, 20, relax, 15, and then we'll stop and go to our actual exercises, because this is kind of an in-between, between the warm-up and the workout. All right, so I'll get it started. I'll explain it a little more when we get started too, but get ready. So you're standing, and begin. So just have those hands together and push on them, hold that tension, and you can even have your hands like this, if you prefer, or facing out that way. And I'll show you one reason why this is nice. So if you do it like this, you can relax. Just bring your arms forward like that while you're relaxing. Release that tension. And hold again. So whatever way is comfortable for you. I find it comfortable for me to kind of clasp my hands together like this. Hold that tension. You can take nice, slow, deep breaths. And stop. Relax your arms. And begin again. Keep that tension. While you're doing this, make sure your breathing is normal. Just breathe nice and slow. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Don't strain it and don't be looking down, forcing your head down too much. Get ready, almost done. And relax. And start again. Hold that tension. 20 seconds. Make sure you're keeping that tension the whole time. And make sure you're not, like I said before, not just pushing your hands and straining your wrist. Focus more on just tensing your muscles. And relax. And begin again. This is our 15-second one. I scrolled down to double check. So we got 10 seconds left of this one. Then we'll rest briefly and move into our exercises. Hold that tension, almost done. And stop. All right, let me move this over here. Give it a pause. So our first exercise is going to be push-ups. We're going to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 3 separate times. So if you can't do regular push-ups like these, where you're up on your feet, arms in front of you, come down, back up. If you can't do them like that, you could try kneeling. Same exact thing, just rest on your knees. And if you can't do that either, you could do incline push-ups, which is just like the basic push-up, but instead, you're resting your hands on some kind of surface. Just make sure it's a stable surface that isn't going to move, like your stairs, or maybe if your couch is nice and stable, won't move with you pushing on it, you can go ahead and use that. And there's also the option of wall push-ups. If you're not able to do incline push-ups or not able to keep doing them throughout the whole time, you could just do push-ups, again, just like normal, but you're resting your hands up on the wall. So, easiest variation on the wall, second easiest incline, third would be the kneeling push-ups, and then you've got your basic push-up as the most difficult one for now. You could even make it more difficult if you'd like. Rest your feet up on the raised surface instead, so that the push-up is more difficult, more challenging for you. All right? So, let's get ready to start this. We'll be doing 30 seconds on of whatever variation you pick, whatever you decide is best for you, and then we'll rest for 30 seconds. So let's get ready. I'll hit play. All right, we got 5 seconds, so begin. Whichever one you prefer. And start. So when you're doing a push-up, make sure your body, the rest of your body is nice and still and in a mostly straight line. So make sure you're not up like this, going like that, and make sure you're not dipped down either. Have a nice straight line. Try to come down to your arms, make a 90-degree angle in that elbow right there, that bend of your arm. And stop. So we got 30 seconds of our rest, and then we're going to repeat that 2 more times. And I'll explain a little better on this next round. Kind of face this way instead, so you can see what I mean by how your arms are. We got 10 more seconds. I'll drink some water in this rest. And get ready to start. And begin those push-ups. Just like this. You can see I switched over to the kneeling variation just now. So you can switch the variation you're using throughout the workout. As I was saying, so like this, you want to come down so your arms make that 90-degree angle, that right angle, and push back up. Breathe in as you're coming down, and breathe out as you push up away from the floor. All right, rest. Another 30-second rest. We're going through that one more time, and then our last 3 exercises will all be standing using our weights. So whatever weight you have available, ideally something you can easily hold on to with a handle or something. Or like this. This is small enough so that it's easy to hold on to as a weight. Alright, we got 3 seconds. Get ready to start the last round of push-ups. Begin. Like I was saying, breathe in as you're coming down, and breathe out when you push up away from the floor. Try to keep the rest of your body nice and straight. And if it gets to be too difficult, you can switch to an easier variation. But do try to keep moving throughout the time set. Alright, go ahead and stop. So we got 30 seconds before we start our next exercise. We're going to stand back up. Go ahead and grab your weight. So start with your feet just a little bit wider than your shoulders. So what I mean is don't have your feet like this. If you have them out a little bit wider, you'll have more stability for these exercises. All right, we're going to be starting with the overhead press. And begin. So I'll turn to the side so you can kind of see better. So just like this, up overhead, and bring it back down. So you breathe in as the weight's coming down, and breathe out when you push it up away from you, up overhead. And you have this grip where the weight is kind of underneath your hands. Sorry, your hands are underneath the weight. And just push up overhead, let it down nice and slow, and back up. All right, if you need to grab a lighter weight, go ahead and do that. We're switching to standing chest flies. All right, so we're starting on that right side. So begin, you have a very slight bend in that right arm, and then you're just bringing it up right about to shoulder level, and then let it back down. You'll also notice that my palm is facing up. So you should be able to see your fingers like that. I'll turn so you can see another angle. You're keeping it pretty close to your body as well. All right, now we switch to the left side, so I'll turn this way. Same thing as before. Keep that slight bend in your elbow, and make sure you don't change it either. So we're not doing a curl. You don't want to curl it up as you're coming up, like this. You want to keep that same bend, just like that. You want to breathe out as the weight's coming up towards your shoulder, and breathe in as you're letting it back down nice and slow. So breathe out, and then breathe in. Go ahead and stop. We got a brief rest, and then we're going to do that again 3 more times. Move that up so it's out of our way. Just over 5 seconds, so get ready to start again. Starting with that overhead press. And begin. And you might want to lean your head back just a little bit when you're doing this. If your head's like this, it might be in the way of the weight. So you lean it back just very slightly so it's out of the way. You want to make sure you don't push it back too dramatically so that you're not straining your neck. We've got about 15 seconds left. Make sure you're letting it down nice and slow, and pay attention to your breathing. Breathe out when you push up. Breathe in as you let it back down towards you. All right, you can stop, switch weights if you need to. Starting with that right side again. So chest flies on the right side. And your hand, if you're not quite like this, you kind of have it turned. Turn your hand out just a bit, come up, let it down nice and slow. And like I was saying before, it's pretty close to your body, so you're not all the way out here going like this. You're not going like a curl right in front of you either. Just like that. And stop, let me turn, so we start the left hand side now. And begin, 30 seconds on the left side. Try to keep that same angle for the bend in your arm, right here. And if you can, hold it briefly at the top right here, the top part of the movement. Not for long at all, just for about a second. And stop. Let's set this down. So we got a rest, and we're going to repeat that 2 more times. You can drink your water, sit down, and relax if you'd like. We've got a couple of seconds here to just relax and not worry about keeping your heart rate up or anything. Grab that weight and start that overhead press now. Same as before, always use controlled movements. And by that I just mean don't walk your arms out at the top, make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing, and don't just let the weight drop down like this. Resist the weight dropping down. Let it down nice and slow. We got about 12 seconds left. Almost done. 5 more seconds, and then we'll have time to switch to our next exercise. All right, go ahead and stop. Get ready. Right hand side again. And begin. So breathe out as you're bringing it up, and breathe in as you're letting it back down. Got 15 seconds left. You may also notice when you're doing this exercise, that it actually hits more than just your chest muscles. So let me switch real quick, and then I'll continue telling you about that. And get ready to start on the left. Begin. So like I was saying, it actually does work more than just your pecs, your chest muscles. It works your shoulders as well. Mostly that front shoulder muscle and the middle one. Really focus on your breathing. Make sure you're still letting the weight down nice and slow. Just with the overhead press. Always use controlled movements when you're working out. And stop. 20 seconds rest. I believe we have this for 1 more round. All right? So we got 1 more round of this. And then we'll finish up with an overhead tricep extension after these 2 exercises are done. And we'll do a cool down, and that'll be it for the workout. Grab that weight. Last round of overhead press, all right? Breathe out when you're pushing the weight up overhead. Breathe in as you let it back down. Try to keep the rest of your body nice and still. Make sure you're not swaying at all. About 20 seconds left. Again, this one also works more than just your chest muscles. It's hitting your shoulders, your triceps. So that's the muscle on the back of your upper arm. And it's also hitting your back muscles a little bit as well. Get ready and stop. Starting with our last round of chest flies on the right hand side. Begin. Let me turn in a little bit of an angle here. Hopefully that can show you the exercise better. 20 seconds left. And I forgot to mention earlier, but it doesn't matter where the arm you're not working is resting. You can rest it at your side, in front of you like this. I just find it comfortable to rest behind me. And stop. Switch to that left side. And begin on the left. Last round of this. We're going into those tricep extensions next, and then a cool down, and we'll be done with the workout. Remember, pay attention to your breathing. Breathe in as you're letting it down. Breathe out as you're bringing the weight up. Almost done. And stop. If you're at the top of the movement like I was, let it down slowly before you just drop the weight. So we've got 10 seconds before we start that overhead tricep extension. So whatever weight you're using, we just bring it up overhead, and we'll be going like this. And begin. So if you're familiar, go ahead and start. So you got the same stance as before. You're bringing your upper arm right here, just about to your ear, and keeping it nice and straight. You're only moving with your lower arm, so right here. That's the only part that's moving right now. You bring it down, just a little bit lower than parallel to the floor, and then back up. So what I mean by that is this is about parallel, a little bit lower, go back up. All right, go ahead and stop. So like I was saying, that's the overhead tricep extension, so that works your tricep. This muscle right here on the back of your upper arm. We got 10 seconds. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. So get ready. Bring that weight up overhead. And begin. I want you to let down nice and slow and push back up. Make sure you're not locking your arms when you're pushed up like this. So breathe in as you're letting it down. And breathe out when you push the weight up. Keep going, we're almost done. And stop. 20-second rest. We're going to repeat that 1 more time, and then we'll do our cool down. Now, make sure that you're not too tired when you're doing this. If you have a lighter weight available and you feel like you need to switch to it, your form isn't great, go ahead and switch to that lighter weight so you can keep doing the exercise. And begin. So I really want you to make sure you're keeping this part of your arm right here nice and still. As still as you can. It'll move a little bit, which is fine. Just make sure you're not moving it back too much like that. Keep it as still as you're able. If you don't have that lighter weight, you can just rest a little longer if you don't have that option to switch to. And stop. Let's set that weight down nice and gently. Double check that the workout's completely done, and it is. So I turn this off, get it set to the side. That way it's not going off when we're halfway through our cool down. All right, so starting with that cool down, we're going to do an overhead tricep stretch first, because we did work our triceps directly, and a lot of the other exercises we did work them as well. So bring your arms up overhead. We're going to start by stretching my right arm first. So I want you to bend that right arm, grab onto that right elbow with your left hand, and just very gently pull your arm back, deepen that stretch, hold it briefly, and then release. Bring your arms down to your sides. I like to let my arms relax for a second before immediately switching to the other one. So bring your arms up again. Bend that left arm, grab that left elbow with your right hand. And same thing, just very gently pull that left arm back to deepen that stretch. You're not forcing it back too much. You're just trying to get a deeper stretch here. And release. All right. So we're going to hold it a little bit longer this time. I'll turn this way so you can see how far I'm pulling my arms back. Bring your arms up. Bend that right arm. Grab it with your left hand. You can see this is how it naturally is. And then I pull it back just very slightly. You can hold it for 1 deep breath. And release. And now I'll do the left arm. So up again, bend that left arm. Pull it back just very slightly. Hold it for 1 deep breath. And release. Now we're going to do, hopefully we didn't lose connection on your end. Let it load back up. All right, looks like it's doing decent, so let's get started on the warm-up, the cool down before it cuts out again. So like I was saying, it's similar to this one where we're going with our arms back. You can do it like that if you'd like, or you can even rest them on the side of your head and just push your arms back. And you should be feeling it right in here. Keep going. So like I said, you can go like this, or you can rest your arms on the side of your head and move back this way. This time I want you to make sure you're pushing your arms back while you're able to. So think about pushing your elbows back. And then go forward again. All right. Looks like the connection's getting a little spotty. We're almost done. That was our last warm-up exercise anyways. So let me try to reconnect to make sure you heard everything. And then we'll officially be done with the workout. Give it a second to catch up. All right, so those were both of our cool-down stretches anyway. Hopefully you saw them all. We had the overhead tricep stretch, just like that, both arms. And then for your chest, you have this one. You can bring your elbows back, or you can even do the variation with your hands in front of you and push back. So whichever one you prefer, if you'd like to keep doing those cool downs, go ahead and do that. But that's it for our workout. Hopefully you caught all of it and it didn't disconnect too bad. Remember, you can like us on the Ashtabula County Medical Center Facebook page. Check out other workouts. Thanks for watching.